Homosexuality is a disease that can be cured or managed, like drug addiction. Homosexuality is a sin that can be struggled with and overcome, like gossip or pornography. For 2 months, I've been hearing things like this over and over and over again. Why am I doing this? The this I'm referring to is the 2010 Equality Ride, which is a 2-month social justice forum that travels, where about 25 people, ages 18 to 20-something, get on a bus and travel around the country to visit colleges and universities that have discriminatory policies on the books against lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people. For whatever reason, most of the schools we went to were Christian. Now, just saying. So we went there just to engage minds and hearts, right? Get people to see things they don't normally see. Get people to think about things they don't normally think about. The directors of our ride mailed letters to these schools telling them we wanted to visit and explaining to them that we wanted to have dialogue. Some schools did not allow us on campus. One school told their students that if they came out to meet us, this was grounds for expulsion. I don't know if they didn't believe that we just wanted to talk to them or if their policy is that they don't negotiate with terrorists. I have no idea. But then for the schools that said yes to us, the power dynamic was very clearly skewed in their direction. If they said yes, we just want opportunities for dialogue. So they determine how long we're there, the structure of our visit, and what we do while we're at these schools. So what I find out, and I know this is going to sound a little ridiculous, what I find out once I get to the ride is that it's hard. Very, very hard, because I get there and I'm talking to people and, we're this far apart. But the distance between where I am coming from and where they are coming from is so vast. The way we think about everything, like life, the universe, everything. I mean, it is like saying, hey, would you like a beer? And then someone saying to you, 22? Just nothing. And then you got to explain to them what hey means, what would means, what like means, what you means, what a means, what beer means, and what question mark means. So it was a difficult time. The thing about it, too, also with the power thing, is that the queer community and the anti-queer community, I guess I'll call it, both think that the other group are the dominant group with all the power, right? Like, I'm sure we've all heard of the gay agenda that is swirling all around us, threatening to obliterate the foundations of civilization as we know it. So that's the Equality Ride. So why did I do it? The answer to that is not actually very clear. Several months prior to this, I was totally bored at a steady, secure, not completely unfulfilling dead-end job. I would drive to work and think to myself, what if I just kept on driving? I don't even know where, I just want to go somewhere and do something that feels like it matters. So one day, I'm at work, dealing with the state of my comatose soul by, of course, perusing through Facebook. When suddenly, to the right of my screen, I see an ad. It's a picture of a bus with the words that are something like, "Are you ready for the 2010 Equality Ride?" I think, yes, I think I am. So I click on it, and really from that moment on, everything was just a perfect fit. I read about what it was, I started to apply immediately, and every time I answered, the question and described to them why I should go on this ride in the application, in the interviews, it just felt like I was describing myself and saying, duh, perfect fit, same, let me on. So when they accepted me, everything was a yes. I never questioned it at all, even though I had to quit my job, being away for 2 months, and then save up enough money to pay all my bills and pay for my home while I was gone. I just always knew it was going to be a yes. But once I got on this ride, I honestly started to wonder what I had to offer. We were in predominantly Christian settings. I do not identify as Christian. All of the Christians on the ride who had to live through, right, this spiritual violence and this odious bullshit, and then face it again on the ride. I didn't have that experience. And it turns out within the queer community, I live quite the privileged, charmed life. There were so many people on the ride who lived through repeated, continuous, violent attempts to deny their beauty and bury it. And I just wanted those people, I didn't go through that shit, those people to shine their beauty so fucking bright that there was no space left for anything else in the room. So, one day, towards the end of the ride, on the 13th of 16 schools that we've been to, we're in a big room, much bigger than this room, very, very high ceilings, very high windows. We're at a school in Indiana. And there's faculty, staff, students from this school. All the equality riders are spread throughout, and we're, at round tables, kind of like a wedding reception, but totally not like a wedding reception. And we're having a large group discussion with a moderator at the front of the room. And once again, someone compares my experience of being queer to gossip and pornography. And something inside of me happened. Like, emotion just welled up in me and felt like it was just going to burst out. I managed to stop it, like right here. And I raised my hand, as is the custom in large group discussions. Waited for this guy to call on me. When he finally did, I got up out of my chair, which was the protocol in this discussion, and I said, okay, I know that it is not anyone in this room's fault that you are the 13th of 16 schools that we visited, but I am so tired of hearing my experience of being queer compared to gossip and talked about like it has to be struggled with like lying. Because I fell in love on this ride. I am with a woman who I love. I love her, and I want to build a life with her, and I want to build children with her. And what other sin has to do with loving someone? I sat down, and I looked at the floor, and almost immediately, a professor at another table said, well, but all of us are in sin. So how can anyone know what love actually is? Some parents abuse their children and think that's loving, that's love. And I smirked. And I thought to myself, oh, right, that whole your love's not real thing. But before I could even say anything, another equality rider spoke up immediately and said, okay, sir, what you just said to me indicates that you didn't hear a thing Jennifer just said. Because I know her and her girlfriend, Kate, and I've watched their relationship unfold, and it is real love. And what you said personally offends me because I love someone back home. And then Kate, my valiant woman, stood up and walked over to me, and as she walked over to me, she said, yeah, and what you said personally offends me because I'm the one she loves. And she kneeled down in front of me, and she looked up and said, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. The discussion eventually ended. Everyone's milling about, I'm still sitting in my chair just taking all of this in. And a short little woman came over to me and again kneeled down and put her hand on my shoulder. I later found out she was a professor. And she said, I just wanted to thank you for what you said. I want to say that I heard you, and I want to say that there is a lot that I don't know. And Yeah. Just thank you, I heard you, and there's a lot that I don't know. Now, it's not like I'd fashioned what the perfect thing for me to have heard at that moment would have been, but that was the perfect thing for me to have heard at that moment. She was just honest and sincere and authentic. I mean, talk about just getting someone to look at things a different way. Then later, another psychology professor, this big tall guy, later said that he believed what I said. He believed that I do love Kate. And so now he has to reconcile that with these beliefs that he's held for so long. That is what I have to offer. My personal story, my personal truth, and my voice. Some people are going to believe me, some people are not going to believe me, and some people are going to say 22. But my voice, my story, and my truth is power.